Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Village Bartlett Board meeting for October 7th, 2025. I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Betterman?
Here.
Daney?
Here.
Gandsey?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
Laporte?
Here.
Swansky? Absent. President Gunstein?
Here. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
All right. That'll take us to our town hall portion of the meeting. If anybody would like to address the board, please do so by stepping up to the podium, state your name and address, and please try to keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. And do we have anybody that'd like to speak? All right.
Did we get one of your forms?
We'll just get your name and number here.
Okay.
Or your name and address, I'm sorry.
My name is Mary Sobieschek. This is my husband, Michael Sobieschek. We are here tonight to ask for some help with our neighbor who has multiple code violations that have been going on for the past 2 years, if not longer. Code violation is when you have failure to obey specific sets, rules, laws, standards, which can result in penalties or fines, such as unpermitted construction, unsafe electric, using property for the purpose of not to zone, or just as simple as not keeping your property up to local standards. The notice of violations, a code enforcement officer investigates a complaint, issues a formal notice to the property owner describing the violation and required corrective action. In our case, neighbor, not owner of the property, he is the husband of the wife and the mother-in-law, has called the police on the code enforcer. Code enforcer is not allowed on his property, so neighbor gets his violations emailed to him with a correction date. If he ignores the date, he relieves a court date in front of a hearing judge. The hearing judge usually sentences a correction date. In our case, has been given multiple 60 days, which is one reason why this has been going on since 2023. Second reason is neighbor will just not show up to court or start another project, leaving with 7 to 8 open violations as of September 2025. Last month, hearing judge gave the neighbor another 60 days in regarding his property because the village engineer reported he needs to correct his whole lot line to repair 104 inches that he dug into our yard. He dug a trench behind his yard, and the water just goes down 3 houses. Consequences, fines, and penalty. The neighbor may face escalating fines. In our case, we are left with a combative neighbor who we were forced to get a protective order against for 2 years. Flooding issues, digging into our property, fire in the middle of his yard left unattended, an unfinished fence constructed wrong visually by the size of the post with over 97 nails facing our property. In other words, if anybody falls on their fence, somebody's going to get hurt. An unsightly appearance of the front yard, the driveway with inoperable boats, metal racks, plastic containers, and any junk he seems to acquire. We need some help. We are shocked that this property has been allowed to continue one project after another with no regard for safety or the blatant disregard for code enforcement of the Village of Bartlett, undermining the town's authority, creating an unsafe environment for neighbors, and reducing property values. We have lived in Bartlett for 36 years, followed all code enforcements. It's a disheartening thing to see this continue going on. I have pictures. Go ahead.
What was your address?
It's right next to us, 234 South Hickory. Ours is 236 South Hickory. They've lived there for maybe 3.5 years. Anybody who would drive by, you would not even think you're in Bartlett.
Okay.
You would not. And I don't understand how this keeps continuing and continuing and continuing.
What's the address?
Mary, I appreciate you bringing that to our attention. I actually heard about this, so I will get with our police department and code enforcement, and we'll try to figure this out. So, are you near Hickory and North?
No, we're 236 South Hickory. The neighbor's 234.
Okay, 234, okay.
This particular case is an adjudication, and Mary's point is that it is continued repeatedly
Yeah,
for compliance. The code enforcement is responding, the police department's responding. We're taking it through the adjudication process.
okay.
But at the court hearing, we didn't even know we could go to the court hearing. We went just to see how the process works. And so we went 2 months ago. We went again last month ago, very surprised how the process works. And we will come back in November.
Okay. I'm familiar with it, so I will work with staff. We'll get together on this one. So I appreciate you coming in and
Okay.
bringing it to our attention. I think it's unfortunate that you have to deal with that as a neighbor, so we'll do everything we can to get that resolved. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to address the board? Is there anybody online?
No, sir.
All right. That would take us to our consent agenda. All items listed with asterisk are considered to be routine and will be acted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless board members so request, in that event, the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered at an appropriate time in the agenda. And with that said, would anybody like to add or remove anything from the consent agenda?
Yes, Mr. President, I'd like to add agenda items F1 and F3.
Any discussions regarding F1 and F3? All right.
I'd like to add E1.
E1, okay. Any discussion regarding that? Anything else? I think that's all of them. All right. Can I get a motion to approve approve the amended consent?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Daney, second by trustee Laporte. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Laporte,
Yes.
Batterman,
Yes.
Daney,
Yes.
Gandsey,
Yes.
Hopkins.
That motion carries. Can I get a motion to now approve the amended consent?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Daney, seconded by trustee Laporte. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Batterman,
Yes.
Daney,
Yes.
Gansey,
Yes.
Hopkins, Laporte.
Yes.
That motion carries. All right. Next up is treasurer's report. We have none tonight, so we'll go on to president's report. And I ask trustee Gandsey to read the proclamation for Arts DuPage month. Oh, do you have it?
Do you have a copy of it? In the meantime, you can read the Oktoberfest Halloween list. There we go.
Proclamation, Arts DuPage, a DuPage Foundation initiative. Whereas Arts DuPage has regularly issued official proclamations to all the cities and villages in DuPage County on an annual basis, designating October as Arts DuPage Month. And whereas the arts embody much of the accumulated wisdom, intellect, and imagination of humankind, and whereas the arts enrich us as individuals and play a unique role in the lives of our families and our communities. And whereas the arts promote a better understanding of the diversified cultures within our communities and unify us regardless of age, race, and ethnicity, and whereas the arts sector in DuPage County consists of more than 2,200 arts-related businesses and accounts for 4.2% of the total number of businesses in the region, a larger share of the economy than transportation, tourism, agriculture, and construction. And whereas the arts provide full-time employment for over 15,000 workers in DuPage County, and whereas the arts improve our economy, enrich our civic life, drive tourism and commerce, and exert a profound positive influence on the education of our children, and whereas the arts help to lead us through the darkest times by lifting our spirits, unifying communities, and providing entertainment. The arts also play a vital role in enlivening our lives, our communities, driving the economy, and elevating the appeal of our county. Now therefore be it resolved, on behalf of Daniel H. Gunstein, Village President, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Arts DuPage Month in the Village of Bartlett and call upon our community members to celebrate and promote the arts in DuPage County, dated the 7th day of October 2025.
Nice.
Thank you, Trustee Gandsey. With that, we go on to questions and answers. Would anybody like to add anything or have any questions for staff?
Well, I have a couple things, which I always do. I'd like to recognize some people for their anniversaries. We have Richie Lucas. He's with, he has 6 years. It's his anniversary. And we also have Matt Gerge, our green superintendent over at Bartlett Hills. Can't believe he's been here 7 years. So congratulations, guys, on your birthdays. And we have some, those were anniversaries, okay? So we had Richie at 6 years and Matt at 7 years. Those were anniversaries. Now here are the birthdays. We have Mike Wormus, our street supervisor. His birthday is on the 5th of October. We also have Tyler Reese. And Tyler is an employee of Public Works. He happens to be married to my granddaughter. So his birthday is the 30th of the month. And then we also have one of our fellow trustees, John Bannerman. Happy birthday, John. His birthday is on Saturday. So congratulations, guys.
And as old as Trustee Bannerman is, he's running the marathon on Sunday.
That's
So
right.
if anybody would like to go cheer him on, he'll be down there.
I'll appreciate any.
I was thinking about
Happy
running.
birthday.
I was thinking about running alongside you at work.
All right. Anybody else have anything for staff?
I do. So I just wanted to give a shout out to our village for sending us to the IML conference. That was a couple weeks ago. It was a great conference. We did see the great Mike Singletary, very passionate speaker. He talked about leadership in the village, and that was good. We did find out that it is the 250th year anniversary in 2026 of the Declaration of Independence, so I think we'll probably start figuring how to celebrate that next year. We talked about local grocery sales tax. I think the plan for grocery sales tax has been already addressed earlier this year. And then we also talked a little bit about planning and zoning, that maybe we could have some training for them. There are some rather nice firms there that would offer some training if we wanted to get more of the code enforcement side of the municipality for our commissioners. So the biggest thing that we learned at IML, or the biggest thing I learned at IML, was about our TIF. So TIF, to me, was not exactly something I had ever learned about, and it was well worth understanding how we do the increment funding and how the funding mechanisms could work. So this is another idea that maybe we could have some sort of a session for our community on what a TIF means, or how we use it, or how we fund some of the things that we're going to be doing for our TIF district on Lake Street. So overall great sessions. So just appreciate that.
Anybody else?
I was at a wedding Saturday, and we went to downtown Arlington Heights, and when we decide, or if we decide to do our downtown, or even what we're doing on Lake Street, it'd be nice to just, if you ever are driving down and you're in downtown Arlington Heights, the apartment buildings are 10, 12 stories tall, tons of retail. We were on the second floor. First floor was retail, second floor was like a wedding banquet hall, and then there were apartments above us. So just a lot of mixed use. I guess that's the point of my comments.
Great. All right. All right, if there's no more questions for staff, that'll take us to standing committee reports. I'll just go down to license and ordinance. Chairman Batterman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have one agenda item. The other two were covered under consent, so Halloween Fun Fest and the BAPS firework display. That leaves me with a resolution for executive session meeting minutes. Let me just read this. So the Village Board of Trustees meets from time to time in executive session for purposes authorized by the Illinois Open Meetings Act. Whereas the Village Board must conduct its semi-annual review of approved executive session meeting minutes, and whereas the Village Board has determined that certain executive session meetings minutes not yet released should remain confidential, subject to further review and determination as to their appropriateness for release at a future date. And the Village Board has further determined that certain verbatim recordings of executive session meetings from meetings that occurred at least 18 months ago and for which meetings have been approved are ready for destruction in accordance with Section 2.06C of the Open Meetings Act. So, therefore, be it resolved by President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Bartlett, Cook, DuPage, and King Counties, Illinois, pursuant to its home rule authority, the Village Board of Trustees hereby determines that the following executive session meeting minutes should be approved for content, and those are the ones that are in the last 18 months. Secondly, the Village Board of Trustees determined that the following executive session meeting minutes should remain confidential, and there's a whole list of those going back to 2001. And Section 3, for the verbatim recordings, the Village Board has determined that the verbatim recordings of executive session meetings that occurred at least 18 months ago and for which minutes have already been approved and are ready for destruction are hereby hereby directs the village clerk or designee to destroy those recordings without further action or approval by the Village Board. Section 4 is the resolution shall be enforced and effect upon passage and approval. So I think I'm asking for a motion on this one or not? Yes. Question to you, Paula. Okay. So I motion to approve this resolution.
Second that.
It's number 2025-95-R.
Thank you, Lorna.
Yeah. You made the motion, right, John?
Yes.
I'll second that.
Second by Trustee Daney. Any discussion? Ask the clerk to call the roll.
Trustee Daney,
Yes.
GANDSEY. Yes. Hopkins. Laporte.
Yes.
Batterman.
Yes.
That motion carries. All right. That will, I believe that's the end of our standing committee reports. Everything else was covered under consent. We added F1, F3, and E1. So that'll take us to new business.
Mayor, I would just to Trustee Bannerman's comments about the IML. As you know, probably from their presentation, they are putting together a time capsule, and Bartlett will be submitting, we are required to submit something small. So I'm working with Pam on our submittal to the state, to the IML time capsule. And Pam is working on some things for the 250, but next year is also the 100th anniversary of Bartlett Hills, so we're also working on that anniversary as well.
That's great. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Any other new business? No?
Okay.
Huh? Okay. All right. Questions, answers? If none, get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Daney, second by trustee Batterman. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Betterman,
Yes.
Daney,
Yes.
Gansey. Yes. Hopkins, Laporte.
Yes.
That motion carries. We are adjourned.